Hi. I'm thankful for Speaker Pelosi this Thanksgiving.
Keep going.
You know, I'm thankful that she was there on January 6th when the Capitol was attacked. I'm thankful that she reached out to Vice President Pence to make sure he was okay when they never extend that to us. I'm thankful that we still do the right things in the moment. Matter. Never see. Nancy Pelosi never thought anybody was going to have that phone call, really, of her speaking to Mike Pence. And I'm so thankful that we have that on our side. I'm thankful that these are our people.
I appreciate the call so much, Tammy, and I want to amplify to the best I can. I am fascinated by Nancy Pelosi. She is absolutely empirically one of the most accomplished political leaders in American history. And I am fascinated by her in a number of, and I think she's a window to a number of dynamics. One is, it's hard to be a political hero, heroine, gendered or otherwise, in the modern world, particularly when one is Democrat. And I will say, because you get caught in a pincer. The dominant right-wing media takes you on, and the justifiably grumpy left does not lionize you. And so somebody like Nancy Pelosi, somebody like Hillary Clinton gets torn up both politically and due to misogyny, and gets underestimated and underrated. And now that it is clear that Republicans are taking the House, so that she will no longer be the speaker, and she'll be considering what she does next. It is a marvelous time. It is a perfect time. Yours is the perfect phone call. A marvelous time to look back. I want to say just a couple things. The one is understanding her life. Understand that she is someone who has, I don't know if straddled is fair, but has transcended, has lived through political eras during the early portion. Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to say something about that, go ahead.
With her dad.
Yep.
Everything she went through with her father in Baltimore, and in the House prior to that, this was just this is the life she grew up in. This is a life of service.
Yep. And she starts out at an era when, because she's old enough, right? She starts out at an era when you didn't, before you had Emily's List, right? Before you had significant energy pushing talented, intelligent, ambitious young women to run for office, right? Where she is behind the scenes fundraiser. She runs for her first office when she's 47 years old, and ends up becoming one of the most accomplished speakers of the House of all time. Let's go through some of that stuff. So Obamacare does not happen but for Nancy Pelosi, right? Exactly. Dodd-Frank, Lilly Ledbetter, economic stimulus, the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the DREAM Act, cap and trade, the reauthorization of CHIP, the Employee Free Choice Act, the Fair Sentencing Act, the Disclose Act. And that, by the way, is all before the Biden administration. Okay, she was speaker during two times when we could have had a depression. The first time was the Great Recession, and the second time was the pandemic. And both times she shepherded through stimulus packages that, while we had real tough times, and a lot of American families had real tough times, we haven't done nearly enough to address wealth disparities during either era. And I got all kinds of quibbles. Nonetheless, we avoided an early, late 1920s, early 1930s style depression. And she was pivotal in both periods, a critically historic figure, one who is worthy of gratitude. Nobody is worthy of only gratitude, but she is certainly worthy of recognition. Why don't you take the last word, Tammy?
Well, I think it's going to be quite enjoyable. Nobody can whip a caucus like Nancy Pelosi. And I'm not sure that they're going to hold the House after indictments start dropping, quite frankly. I'm not sure what the numbers will be then. There are a lot of states where people are sitting that there are governors that are now going to be Democrats.
Yep.
And if those people that were, fake electors are indicted and they can't be seated, the numbers change a bit. And I think that's going to happen.
Yep. Well, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about it. And it's a good question, right? When is the time to pass the torch, and to whom, right? As was it Alexander the Great was asked, who will take the mantle from you? And his answer was the strongest. Of course, what happened afterwards was civil war. Tammy, thank you so much for the call.